Hello, this is my first try to make a video concerning the Tarot Challenge by Ethony Dawn, and it is about the 5 top tarot decks that I bought last year. It was quite difficult for me to find the ones that I would consider the top 5, not simply because there were many decks that I found last year, but also because there are some I didn't have the possibility to work with for long enough to know if they will become a top 5, a top deck or not. So the first one I come up with is Chiro. I like Chiro work anyway, and it is the I am not sure, is it gilded or gilded royale deck that he made. He had the gilded deck in the beginning, and I didn't really connect with it. I worked with it from time to time, but it wasn't my deck actually. And when this one came out, I even gave away the normal, the gilded deck, because I am not going to use it anymore. It had his time over here, and so I gave it to someone who could use it at this moment. So personally, this is really a deck that I like, and I am really connecting with it. And when I'm doing readings, in the exchange readings from Ethony Dawn's days, where she's offering this possibility, I am very often using this deck because I think it is it has an amazing expression, for me at least, so I can use it in a very good way. Another one that I like very much, and it's very funny because in the beginning I wasn't really sure about it. I have to explain maybe. Whenever I get this typical light and love reaction from people where it is too much of it, no problem with light, no problem with love, but it's always overpitched light and love, I am not really happy with it. So when I first saw the title of this one, The Light Seers Tarot, I wasn't really sure I was going to like it. And then over the time I saw people showing pictures of the deck, and I was so amazed that I bought it. And honestly, I know it was an amazing choice to do so. There's some cards that have a completely different look at the subject, and even if maybe they are now, I don't want to say that they are light in a certain way. They have a very caring way, in my eyes, to explain the situation, and maybe even to explain the solution to a problem that I like. It gives me the possibility to explain things in a very empathic way, or to explain at least the cards, the pictures, in a very empathic way, to be sure not to hurt people who may already be in a situation where they feel hurt. They don't need more of that at that moment. So I show you some of the cards, and actually I like the way they are pictured. For example, normally I'm not a fan of the Queen of Wands, but I think this is so amazing. First of all, I like the way they are drawn, the way they are made, and I like this kind of image. I think it is more powerful than what I'm normally used to at a Queen of Wands. So that's my second deck. My my third deck that I have chosen is one I saw some cards of that one over and over again, and each time was like, oh, I like that deck. I like those images. What is it from? And after I saw the fourth or the fifth card, I decided to get it. It is, let me get it out. It is where is it possible with the light to make it visible? The Sawyer's Path Tarot. I think it is. I like when I say cartoon-like drawing, I absolutely don't mean it in a negative way. It seems a simple way to show the cards, to draw the cards, and I still think that they have a certain objectivity that I like in them. Um, I don't think they have. Sometimes the artists put a certain judgment into the image, and I didn't find this in this deck. I like the style, I like the colors, and I know the artist also made a Lenormand and an Oracle, and I guess that I will end up with those cards, with those decks too, because I simply love that guy's style. My fourth deck that I have chosen, wait a second, let me just put that one away. My fourth deck that I have chosen, actually, I saw she has two decks. Well, for all I know, for the moment being, she has two decks, and one is Monster Row, and I saw pictures of that one, and I thought it was lovely. So I checked her page and ended up with the two decks. So first the Monster Row, but the one I have chosen is the Whispering Spirit, because actually I'm working more with that one than with the Monster Row, which might change over the next year, and so maybe my top deck in next year might be the Monster Row, but for the moment being, it's the Whispering Spirit. I love that whimsical way, and actually a little funny way, and especially if there is a situation where things may be serious, it sometimes, in my eyes, it sometimes helps if the images are a little bit more light and give us the possibility to go into it with a different feeling, not simply with a different point of view or a different look, but with a different feeling. So honestly, I love that deck. I have used it also for a friend of mine to um, to draw the cards for a situation she was in, and it, yes, it was fitting. I'm just trying to find, if I find the card, but normally if you're looking for a card, it is not possible to find it immediately. No, forget it. So I'm just going to show you. Ah, sure, there it is. She turned up with that card, and I think this way of, I don't know, for me there is a heart feeling sensation in those cards, and I simply like this simplicity in one way and this lightfulness in a certain way. My last and definitely and certainly not least deck is not as light as that. And I have seen passing the first edition. I got the second one. I'm not someone who is collecting decks because of a first edition. I am collecting decks because I'm using them. And so when I found out that a second edition of that deck would come out, I knew exactly that I would go for it. I pre-ordered it to be absolutely sure to have it at the end. It's the Goliath deck. Honestly, concerning the artwork, I have rarely seen an artwork that is for me. So it just speaks to me. It is amazing. I'm just showing you the cover of the deck because it's a card, it's the strength card, but it's even, as it is bigger, it's even more impressive on the cover of the book. Yes, I am absolutely aware it's always a question of taste, but honestly, just in black and white to do stuff like this, for me, this is amazing, and I love this art. I haven't worked with it yet, but this is going to be the deck I hope to work more with during the next year, and I am. I only have one word for this. For me, is I was flashed when I saw that deck. So just to give you a certain insight into the decks. This is one of my favorite cards. There are more cards. There are not simply the tarot cards. There are cards, other cards that go along. So I am just deciding if I'm going to use it as a normal tarot and keeping the other cards out, or if I'm going to use all the cards. I am not sure of that yet. So those are my 5 decks, my 5 top decks. But I have one small plus, just because, out of one reason. I love cats. I love cats. I'm an absolutely cat fan. I have 4 cats around here. And normally when I take a look at the card decks, yes, those are card decks, but I don't know. Concerning tarot, for me personally, they are rarely fitting. I like animal decks where you have different animals, but the typical card decks, cat decks, were not mine. And then I crossed cat tarot, and I thought, okay, another cat tarot, and they put famous people, or not only famous people, but also mythology and so on, into the tarot, into the cats and into the tarot. And I'm looking forward to work with this. I mean, I have never seen a cat and a card, both with an image of alien, for example. How amazing is this? This was actually the first card that I saw, and I knew I was going to buy that deck. There's so many beautiful cards, and just to have the possibility to link them to mythologies, to stories, I think this can be very helpful in explaining a situation, and to give people a possibility to identify with a story or with a person. So this is, for me, as I said, one of my new decks, and I wanted to show you that there is. I am most definitely not going to find it now. Sure, I'm finding it. Ethony, especially for you, Athena is in that deck, and I thought it was amazing, and I just simply wanted to put a 6+ deck along with it. I hope you liked my ideas of what I consider to be top decks, and I am very curious to see yours.